Hello, and welcome to the video podcast series, Lifestyle by Design. I'm your host, Margaret Wiltshire. I am a mom, a coach, a children's book author, and a lifestyle by design strategist. And tonight, the show tonight is about women, pretty much women, including men. But we are talking with a very special guest, Natisha Willis, and Natisha is a holistic business coach, social entrepreneur, and a massage therapist. So you can do all of that and get a good massage from her too. That's pretty awesome. But Natisha pretty much focuses on women. She's not pigeonholed to helping women, but a little bit of her focus is on women. So Natisha, welcome.
Hey, thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing awesome and amazing, of course. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm doing well here in New York, overcoming a cold. I had to cancel everything last weekend. So I had 2 podcasts scheduled for last week and interviews, and I had to cancel them. But I am back. I sound a little scratchy, but we'll get through it. I'm excited to be back.
That's awesome. You need some ginger for that.
Okay. And a good massage might work too.
But it might.
But I'm in New York and you're all the way in Maryland.
Yes.
So how are you? I'm really excited to have you here tonight.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Things are good. Just coming off a pretty good week. I had a speaking engagement in Atlanta last week, and then I hosted a brand boot camp here in Maryland. Oh my gosh, what else? Oh, I got contacted for leadership positions on 2 international organizations. So I'll be talking a little bit about that. Thank you. What else? Oh, I got the book cover back from my one of the books that I'm releasing called Coach Your Damn Self.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been a good week. Lots of stuff.
Congratulations. You're a firecracker. You are on a roll. I am keeping up with you on social media, and I'm really excited to see and learn about the things that you are doing. So tonight we're going to talk about empowerment. We're going to talk about some mindset, and we're going to talk about purpose and profit for women, which is something you specialize in.
Yes.
So, tell me, I want to first learn about your road to entrepreneurship.
Okay. My road to entrepreneurship. So I'm from a family of entrepreneurs, to be honest. I was told that my grandmother used to sell dinners, and she was really good she was really well connected with the local politicians. My grandmother was from Memphis. I never met her. She actually passed away the year I was born. I also heard she carried a pistol in her bra. So
she was no joke.
Not at all. Not at all. My mother, my mom was in sales. So I always remember my mom selling stuff, like going door to door, selling stuff to the women in the shops and all the shopping malls. So she would go in the stores and sell them stuff for themselves or for their children. So I remember my mom beating the streets. My dad, also did his entrepreneurial thing. He made, and he still to this day makes bootleg CDs and DVDs. So he's a movie buff. So he makes it a point to know all the movies. And he has one of those burners, that it's like 5 or 6. But yeah, so he makes CDs and DVDs. He had a job. He kept a job, but he was always selling CDs and DVDs and washing cars. So I guess you can say, my family, they were hustlers. So when I went to college, I knew that I knew that I loved numbers. And I knew that I wanted to do something with numbers. So I majored in accounting. First generation college student, it makes sense. I like to count, accounting, pretty logical. So I did that. And my first job out of college, I'm from Chicago. My first job out of college, I lived in Boise, Idaho.
Wow.
And then I moved to Pennsylvania. And then I moved back to Chicago, where I started my journey into, I guess, my version of coaching. I was an academic advisor for a online university. And so my job was to really talk to students. I had adult students between 300 and 400 all over the world, and really talk to them about their goals and what they were doing with their lives.
Okay.
And so everywhere that I've lived, I've always been kind of in the know. I made it a point to kind of know who the small businesses are, no matter where I live. And so I always, was connecting businesses to people, bringing them clients, taking my friends, pubbing the businesses. And so it wasn't until 2010 that I, really got serious. I was also always volunteering. I was always volunteering in the community. So it wasn't until 2010 that I figured out a way to bring, this ability to bring people and bring crowds. Yes, please get you some water. I'm like, no. But it wasn't until 2010 that I really came, I feel like, into my own. I was at a community organization, and it just so happened the night before I'd made some deodorant, like handmade deodorant, and I'd had all these ingredients. And I went to a community meeting, and there was a comment that we need some natural body products. And so, my father, I didn't mention that I was raised in the flea markets. So that was my father's favorite pastime. Every Saturday we were in the flea market. So when I heard about, okay, this group that I'm a part of, the study class, okay, they have a marketplace once a month and everybody sells something. So my first thought was, okay, shea butter is the major ingredient. Let me start making, I'll sell the deodorant, but where do you all get your shea butter from? Oh, you all are used to paying $10, $15 for a 4-ounce. Chicago, we pay $5 for a 16-ounce. So let me find some shea butter. So that's what I did. One of the local stores. I bought, I think the first time it was like 40 pounds of shea butter. And so I made all of these products, and I came up with a freebie, a sign to get people over to my table, and it said free hand massage. And so then I made, I remember straining the shea butter in tea bags to get like all the dirt and stuff. It was like the craziest process ever. So I strained the shea butter, I whipped it. I found a wholesaler. So I was like mixing it with olive oil and grapeseed oil. And I only wanted to use like holistic natural stuff. So I used essential oils. And then at the time I started, taking a class, I think, in aromatherapy. So as I'm I'm doing these marketplaces and I'm selling, like, I've got a product line. I don't even know how, I've got the whipped shea butter. I've got, I started mixing shea butter with like salt, and I had like this salt scrub. I think it was called like a scrub and polish. I don't know, but I love marketing, right? So it definitely came out when I had this whole product line and a freebie to get people over to the table. And this guy said, why do you massage the hands rather than the feet? Now, I had enough wherewithal that I had a card. It was a reflexology card, and it spoke about the energy centers that were in both the palms and the feet. But I didn't know what he was asking me. So I said, I don't know, probably because your hands are easier. And so he tried to go in, and I'm like, oh, I got a card about that. So long story longer. That's when I decided, I kind of like this massage thing. And I recalled that my first massage was like the year before. And at the time I was in graduate school doing my master's in nonprofit management and fundraising. And I remember saying, oh my God, like, this hot stone massage is the best thing in the world. I'm gonna learn how to do this. And so, instead I went for a PhD, dropped out. I forgot that part. But after dropping out is when I went to, got into making the shea butter, went to massage school, loved it. I mean, just absolutely loved it. And illegally, while I was in massage school, I started a mobile massage business. And
by the way,
but I'm such a networker, and I have the personality. I just know people. And so what ended up happening was I reached out to a photographer. I went on one of those websites, made me up a logo, Someone before had told me, oh, I had a t-shirt. I went to a networking event and it said, mind your business. And I told her what I did. And she was like, oh, that's a great company name. You should change that to Mind Your Body. I was like, yes, I should. So started Mind Your Body mobile massage company. Reached out to a local photographer, bartered with her for a photo shoot. Just so happened her sister was dating one of the Baltimore Ravens. So I got a photo shoot of me massaging one of the Ravens. Like, this was my professional. Oh my gosh. What was that? Vistaprint. Reached out to them, got me some of those magnets. Remember, I don't know if people still do this, but put the picture on the magnets, put my phone number on there, and put them on my car. Mind you, I'm still in massage school, right? Yeah. So the director called me in one day and said, you can't do massage. I went to your website. Oh, I'm not doing massage. I'm hiring massage therapists. What they say, keep the lie alive. If you ain't caught me, you can't prove it. That's and I knew she couldn't catch me because I was only working with community people. So at the time I remember somebody inviting me to a winery. I was doing massage at like barbecues, parties. I was at a spa. I mean, I was all over the place doing massage. To this day, people still call me to do massage. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing massage anymore. But I can refer you to somebody. I have an excellent massage therapist. So, but yeah, massage was like my first entree. If we're not counting that time I sold candy when I was like 8 or 9. So,
oh, yeah. Wow, that was amazing.
I'm sure you wasn't expecting totally all amazing. Of that.
That's pretty awesome, though. I mean, your parents knew not to keep all their eggs in one basket, right?
Yeah.
So they understood the importance of different streams of income.
Absolutely.
And you picked up on that, which was really cool. And, I don't know, you might want to call it interning or something like that. You were interning and getting experience working for tips. Hey.
Girl, even that's illegal. With massage, you
really?
Yes.
No internship credits?
No, ma'am. You're not supposed to receive payment as long as you are in school. Now, I don't know if you saw my speaking engagement. I think you said you saw it, but my mama was a free woman and she raised me free too. You're not gonna tell me what to do with my own damn hands. Come on, yeah. So, I'm not doing it anymore. I realized that I actually was helping my classmates with their marketing plans and helping them to try to figure out, okay, look, you can start a business. This is where the clients are. Because when I say I was all over the city of Baltimore, I had a table and I had a chair. It was legit. Whatever it is you need, I got you. So if you need me at a barbecue, if I'm coming to the restaurant, after the restaurant closed, I'm massaging restaurant owners. I'm going to beauty shops and salons. I'm taking my chair. I'm massaging all the stylists, because their arms get all tight. I'm getting you, and I got anybody who in the salon who want a massage after seeing me do my thing. I had the aromatherapy going. Yeah, we were good. We were in business.
That's awesome. That speaks to your work ethic also, and it also says whatever you want, you can get it.
Absolutely.
I recently posted a quote on Facebook. Because I had a discussion with my daughter about something I did when I was younger. And I said to her, it's funny. Nobody ever told me that I couldn't do it. So I did it, and that's one of those things like, who said you couldn't get clients?
Look, the director of my massage school.
Well, you know what I mean? Like you went out there and here you were helping other students trying to
help them build their business. But they didn't want business. They wanted massage jobs, which I was just like, I have a master's degree already. The only reason I'm in massage school is because I need something that I can get cash from people. Like I need a cash-based business. And so this is like easy money, y'all. But that's when it hit me. Let's come up with an idea. Let's base whatever it is that you want in terms of your client base, in terms of how you want to build your business, I promise you, we can come up with a plan. We can come up with a strategy how to make it happen. And I guarantee you, I know exactly where the people are. Like, that's when I realized, oh, that's the piece that I like. I like yes, let's get it. Massage was great. I mean, people loved my massages because, of course, like I said, I studied all this other stuff, right? Massage and aromatherapy, and I'm a level 2 Reiki practitioner. And so crystals, so I incorporated all of that, singing bowls, all of that into the massage experience. But, once the massage is over, your life is still toe up. You still need a business of some sort. And I have a background in business and fundraising and marketing. Like, fundraising is marketing, and if you ask me. So I'm like, that's the stuff that lights me up. That's when I get excited. Massage is cool, but I'm quiet. You quiet. We got, the crickets in the background. I want to talk about this marketing plan. Like, how we go, make some real money. So.
Okay. So you were on this journey and you pretty much kind of like figured out the piece that you're passionate about.
Absolutely. So that was, that was 2012 when I finished massage school. I then went to go live on an urban homestead in Indiana from 2012 to 2013. I backpacked for a year, 2013. And then 2014.
Where did you go backpacking?
Belize, Mexico. And then I came back to the States after 2 months. And I said, I'm committed. I said, I'm going to do it for a year. So I did. I lived out of my backpack and just rode megabus everywhere, wherever the wind blow. Every time it rained.
Wow.
I went, I flew myself somewhere different. And so within that experience, I should probably say this, I don't know, but it was a major part of my experience. I ate some weed when I was in Belize and lost my damn mind. No, legit. Like, I forgot who the hell I was. And as I came back, I remember remembering all of my memories. Like, I remember looking into my bag for my passport to remember my name and flipping the pages to figure out where the hell I was. And finally, it was like, Belize, what the hell am I doing in Belize? And over a period of maybe 24 to 36 hours, I remembered all of my memories, that I have a bachelor's degree in this and a master's degree in this. And I went to school in this. And as all of those puzzle pieces came together, it dawned on me that the reason I studied business, and I love small business, and I love networking, and I love nonprofits, and then I love holistic, even though I'm not trying to tell you about your herbal anything. I don't want to do that with you. But the reason I did that was so that those who are interested in that, who are helping to heal their communities, I can help them to create the marketing, to get their business structure together, to create their packages. Like, that's why I went through everything I went through, so that I could have all of those experiences. So I started my coaching practice in 2014.
So what was I'm stuck on that part in Belize, the experience you had there. That was a very interesting experience.
Very, telling me.
But out of the loss of your memory and then piecing
came back. Yeah, I came back piece by piece.
Came back with a message.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're familiar, like I said, I study, herbalism, and I've always been around herbalists. So I don't know if you're familiar with ayahuasca or any of the other hallucinogen plants, but the other plant medicine that basically helps you to do this. The irony is, when I got to Belize, I found out that someone that I'd known from Washington, D.C. had drove to Belize, and she's an herbalist. And so she was there studying a specific plant that, historically, there are certain plants, and every culture has a plant like this, right? But there's a plant that really helps you to bring everything together, that helps you to understand, the meaning of your life.
Wow.
And of course, most of these plants are illegal in the United States. But in other, I think, the only one I can remember is ayahuasca. I know that, like I said, every culture has one. I know there's one in Peru. But yeah, you have to be, prepared. From that experience, I also learned that plants are to be respected. There's energy inside of plants, and I was not being respectful. Like, I literally picked a piece up, put it in my mouth, chewed it, and that was the experience that I had.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So along this path now, you primarily work with women.
Primarily, yes.
So why women? Besides the fact that you're a woman.
Well, the funny part is, I primarily connect with women. I work well with women. It's not that I don't work with men, but there are very few men that I can work with, where we're not fighting for position. And so there are two men in particular who I actually look to as mentors, interestingly enough, who are powerful in their own regard. And so they don't feel the need to demean or talk down to me or somehow take power away from me, because they realize and recognize that we can both be powerful beings in the same space. One of us does not have to do that other thing. And so that's typically my experience. I don't think that it's that I guess, yeah, I think that's really what it boils down to. I'm open to working with men who are standing in their own power and who are comfortable working with a woman who's also standing in her own power. Like, when it comes to this, getting you clients, understanding strategy, creating a plan, packaging your products. Like I said, my brain works really quickly. So numbers and structure. The irony is that puzzle analogy, I grew up with my mom and we always did puzzles. Like, I didn't grow up watching TV. I grew up doing puzzles. And so, playing chess, all of these strategic things where you put the pieces together and you need to think 3 to 5 moves ahead, like all of that stuff, that's like who I am. Okay. And so, it's really just a natural flow. A lot. Yeah, I think that's what it boils down to. It's just a natural flow.
Okay. A couple of weeks ago, I interviewed Rachel Luna, who is awesome. She's the confident coach. And she works with women primarily. Mm-hmm. And she said the same exact thing you said. And I thought that was interesting. She said sometimes, she said something pretty funny, like I don't want to whip it out and they want to whip it out. Yours is bigger, Yeah.
I think it takes men, in order for me to work with a particular type of man, it takes you to have had a particular set of life experiences. The mentor, the 3 men that I can think of who I work really well with are extremely spiritually inclined. They study metaphysics. They understand law of attraction. They understand energy. And they also understand that, this is my lane. So we don't have to battle, because trust, when it's your lane, I'm not in it at all. We're partners in moving this thing forward. And if I know how to make the spaghetti, then I'm making the spaghetti. If you the mac and cheese dude, then you the mac and cheese. But we don't need to fight over, what go in the spaghetti, because I got this, or what goes in the mac and cheese because you got that.
Right.
So
no power struggles.
Yeah, none.
It's really funny because she literally said the same thing you did. She would only work with a guy that was just really confident in who he is. Mm-hmm. So tell me now, what has been the most challenging experience for you so far in this journey, entrepreneurship?
Firing people. Yeah. Coming to accepting the realization that everybody ain't supposed to go with you. And, it's funny because I grew up, my mother, we moved a lot. So I didn't stay in the same place. I don't remember going to the same schools longer than 1, max 2 years, like absolutely max. And that didn't happen that frequently. So we were always moving. So I was always making new friends, which I think is why I'm able to form connections with people and get people to trust me really quickly. Because that's just what I grew up doing. And so excuse me, on a personal level, I have no problem letting people go, right? Um,
Okay.
or at least I didn't in the past at this part of my life, because that's how I grew up after 34 years. I'm at a place, in Myers-Briggs, we call it type development. So in the second phase of your life, you begin wanting to try out some new things. So if I had started a business 10 years ago, oh, you're cut, it's not a problem. But now, because I'm wanting to develop people and I'm wanting to grow people and help people grow their own skills, recognizing that, okay, I can't grow you as you work on my business. I can't coach you and pay you. So acknowledging that and really just having the wherewithal and the courage to have that conversation and offer them another position, on the team. I recently had to do that a couple of times. But yeah, really just, and maybe it's not firing, but allowing people the space to reposition themselves. Everyone doesn't have to be on the, when you think of a bullseye and you've got, the bullseye and then you've got that inner circle right here and then it goes out a little bit. Everyone doesn't have to be right here. I recognize you called me a firecracker earlier. That's true. Like, I really am hot to the touch and everybody can't stand this close. Some people need to be just a little bit ways away and get, the crumbs that are left out or, the feedback from the sun. Everybody's not supposed to stand right next to it. And everybody can't handle it. Everyone's not ready. So
Yeah.
kind of acknowledging that.
That's a great observation, and it's true. It's knowing where everyone fits in and, not letting people go, being at that stage where you don't have to just cut them, but you understand where they're at and
Yeah.
you can help them from, that perspective.
Yeah.
What has been one of the most rewarding experiences for you so far?
The most rewarding experience, I would have to say, is knowing that something that came from the spirit realm through me and actually helped someone. Like one of my mastermind clients. So I wake up in the middle of the night a lot with ideas and worksheets. Like I've created, things half sleep that are just out of this world. And one of those things was my ideal client workbook that all of my mastermind clients complete. And this is a woman who I deeply respect. She's a master herbalist. She's been running her company. I was certified as an herbalist through her. And she enrolled in my mastermind and mentorship program. And she told me she's now, expanded her brand to include, she calls one of her brand names and products is the Suburban Herbalista. And she said that came directly through this ideal client workbook that I created. And I'm just like, are you serious? There's something that I created that didn't exist before, really and truly help someone. That's just mind blowing for me. So now I'm like, okay, yes, everybody needs to get this. Let's go.
Yeah. That's powerful. It's powerful when you do the work, right?
Yes.
You do it and you get Natisha out of the way, you get Margaret out of the way, you just stand aside, you take that ego or whatever, and you allow whatever needs to be born, to birth it and let it into the world. And sometimes it's like this surreal thing, when people get a hold of it and they use it or they interpret it in whatever way they need to, it's very interesting. It's almost not real, I mean, it's interesting, but that's what you got to do. I think that is part of our journey in life is to just do the work, let it be, we birth it and just get out of the way, and let it help people because that's what it's there for.
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
So what have you learned so far about you along the way with all the people you've helped? You just talked a little bit about people, your connection, how it's changed. It's not so easy to kind of just release them because you want to help people grow and develop. But more specifically what else have you learned about you along the way, this entrepreneurial journey and in helping people?
Well, all of these people, everyone who I work with are reflections of me. Like legitimately. That's why it's hard for me to let people go, because I see myself in them. I mean, it's like I've got 10 different mirrors like in front of me. And every time I look at them or I talk to them, I'm like, ooh, that was good. Let me write that down. I need that. Because I feel like the things that I'm saying, most of the time, I don't even know what I'm going to say until it comes out of my mouth. That's why I've begun recording all my calls, because I think out loud, right? Okay. And so I don't even know what's coming out until it comes out. And it's like, oh, snap, like that's good. But, this idea that we really are reflections of one another. This idea that, and I think that's where that ideal client workbook came from, was the realization that your ideal client is not out there. Your ideal client is you back there. So let's look at ourselves from where we came from and when we were struggling and where we, what we wish existed. I've got a sign, I don't know if you can see it, but it says, create what you wish existed. I mean, that's real. Most of the time we go into business because we had a need or a desire for ourselves, right? And we noticed that it was missing or that it wasn't there. And so we create something for the us that's approaching that point, so we can save somebody some heartache, some time, some money. Okay. So I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned about myself is, the things that I value, this master herbalist, that's the shit at coming up with, herbal remedies. And that's me. This woman who I know for a fact, okay, there's greatness inside of you. Like, you can do this. You just need to get out your own way. Oh, that's me. So yeah, like I have begun to see myself in every person that I work with. And so, it's also some acknowledgement that there's a small piece of me that exists in everyone. So there's still, some things that I need to personally get over, in terms of getting out of my own way and trusting my intuition, right? So when I see that in other people, especially when I recognize that it pisses me off or it annoys me or there's I have to acknowledge that there's a piece of that in me that I'm not addressing. And this person is really shining a light on it. And that's part of the reason it's pissing me off. So then I have to go and look inside my own life and say, oh, okay, where am I doing that? Where can I resolve this issue? Not just with her, but within me. So, and then I realize that once I'm able to resolve it within myself, I'm able to have a lot more compassion on the other person. I'm able to have a calm, cool, honest conversation because I've resolved my own issues. If I try to talk about it before I've resolved my own issues, I can't even, because I refuse to allow, I feel like when somebody pisses me off, that they're controlling me. And so I'm not going to have a yelling, screaming match with you until I can control myself. But until I can control I can't even speak. Like I can't even allow the words to form because I know some bullshit gonna come out my mouth. So let me get my thoughts, words, emotions together, and then we could talk about it.
Okay. That's a very, very powerful observation, and very good self-control there.
Let me tell you, practice makes continued practice. That's I'm always practicing. But don't get it twisted. I'm also rehearsing a pop off in my head. Like, if she say this, I promise you I'm about to say this. Like get you some water, girl. And please put it on your calendar, get you some ginger.
I actually have some ginger that I bought over the weekend. I just haven't done anything with the ginger. Should I make some ginger tea? If my mom were alive, she'd tell me, take the ginger and the garlic and make some tea.
Yes. All of that. You can put some cinnamon. If you got some raw local honey, that'll go too.
I
Put all that
do
in.
actually
Yes,
have.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes. Put all that in the pot.
I will do that tonight because I have
Awesome.
those things.
Yeah.
So tell me now
Tell me
what
now
or share with me what you've learned about others in this process.
that we all just doing the best we can. Everybody.
Do you honestly think that we are all just doing the best we can?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. When you think about where people have come from, what they've had to overcome, how their parents raised them, what they dealt with growing up, we are all operating, within our own limitations until, of course, we meet or run across the path of a freedom friend, a friend who's going to help you achieve freedom, right? And we're ready for that conversation. We're ready to go to that next level until our back is completely against the wall where I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not living this way no more. I'm not doing this no more. And then somebody run across your path and it's like, yo, you about to help me. I'm about to grab hold of your coattail. You taking me with you. But until we hit that back, hit the wall, yeah, we're doing the best we can within our resources. We just all just trying to make it through the day.
I chuckled before when you were talking, and I said, "Do you honestly think that we're all doing the best we can?" Because I remember having a conversation with one freedom friend who kind of yanked me up and was like, "Look, you need to get out of your own way." And I confess that at that time in the discussion we had, I was not doing the best. In fact, I was like hiding inside my comfort zone,
And then
and
what happened?
and then I saw the light and I stepped into it.
I'm telling you, we literally until if it's so when the best. Don't get me wrong. The best doesn't mean optimal performance, right? Every sports player needs a cheerleader. Everybody needs a cheerleader. Everybody needs, when you're running a marathon, and because I did a marathon, right? And if you've ever seen a marathon on TV, you see those people who are at the finish line or the people who are on the sideline saying, yes, just 3 more miles. You got this. You can do this. Stand there with the water. Everybody needs one of those people because you really are. You doing what you can do just to put one foot in front of the damn other. And every now and again, it's going to take, it may be a coach. It may just be a passing word. It may be a commercial. It could be anything. It could be a bird flying in the trees. But every now and again, we all need that push or reminder or inspiration, just to light that little bit of fire, to give us just a little breath of fresh air to remind us there's more on the other side. You can do just a little bit more. So.
And we always can. It's very interesting when I coach some of my clients, and it's that area of I like to call it that gray area, right? Because you can't really see the depths of it, and it's that untapped potential.
Yeah.
And when you go in, you find that you can do a little more.
Yep.
And the more you push a little, you're not hitting the ceiling. So you don't know, but it's like the more you go in, the more you get out. And it's always good, even if it's just, little by little every day.
Yeah.
It's something that you do because there's, I'd like to think that there's almost no depths to it. It's as far as your imagination will allow you to go, no matter what it is.
Yep. And our imaginations are sometimes limited. I realized early on, that I do have a vivid imagination. Like and I think that's because I grew up not watching a whole lot of TV. So I read a lot. So I created all kinds of scenes and everything in my head. Thank you, Omar Tyree, Elian Harris, all of them. Because that's what what's up, girl? Terry McMillan. This is what I grew up reading 8, 9, 10 years old. Now, these are grown folk books. I am not, no 8, 9, 10 years old, 10-year-old need to be reading these. But that's what I grew up reading. So I always grew up imagining what my life would be like, what, what things would look like, what my apartment would look like, how, I was going to an HBCU and all kinds of stuff. And sometimes everybody didn't grow up that way.
Me.
Everybody didn't grow up imagining and dreaming. And so I have these bracelets that says dream bigger friend on them, as a reminder. Everybody didn't grow up that way. And so, but I feel like because I did, I have a responsibility to be that freedom friend, that person to help light a little bit of fire, to blow a little fresher air, across your face, and to remind you, yo, you can do this. You can do just a little bit more. Keep pushing. You got this. Let's go.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So Freedom Friends, it's a mastermind group that you started, correct?
It is a brand, and a mastermind group is one of the things that we're doing. We got a couple of things rolling out as it relates to Freedom Friends. But Freedom Friends, came about as I was going through my life coach certification. I realized that one of the things that was vitally important to me that I will give up, we did a values exercise. And one of the things that I chose, no matter what other value I put up against it, I consistently chose freedom. Whether it was family, whether it was honesty or outspoken, I don't care what else you put up against freedom. I'm always going to choose my freedom. And, it took some inner work for me to realize, oh, absolutely. Freedom, fun, and friendships. These are the things that I have to have in my life, period. I don't care what else is going on. I need to be able to feel free and unrestricted. I need to be able to do whatever the hell I want to do. I need to have a good time, and I need to have people with me. So, those are the values that dictate my life. And so, as I went through my own life story and my own life path and did my own research, just into myself, I realized, Freedom Friends and the Freedom Friends Network and the Freedom Friends Clubhouse, like these are all things that really just allow me to share who I am and what I've learned with other people, to bring other people together and to meet people who you would have never met otherwise. I tell somebody all the time, Facebook is one of my favorite places on earth to be, because no matter what I was doing in my life for the past 11 years since I joined Facebook, from 2005 on, anytime that I've moved, and I've moved a lot, but anytime that I've not just physically moved, but made a transition mentally or emotionally, or I wanted to study a certain religion or study a certain spiritual practice, I would put the words in the Facebook bar, in the Facebook search bar, in order for me to find people who were doing it, who could give me some insight that was not, subjective or biased. I can't talk to my Christian folk about Buddhism or Bahia or Islam, if that's because if that's what I want to study. It's like, why would I ask you, and that's not your experience? Like, you're not really going to tell me. You're not telling me something from experience. You're telling me what you think, not what you know. You tell me what you heard. So Facebook has really been the way that I've, achieved my own personal sense of freedom. When I said I wanted to backpack for a year, I found a Facebook group full of other travelers who were already doing it. And these people were doing, I said I wanted to backpack. These people was like eating, still beating Cobra Hearts, getting snake massages. So they made my little stuff. Oh, yeah, I'm not doing none of that, but I'm gonna do this, And the same thing, like I said,
group.
Bucket List Beasts.
Whoa. Okay.
Bucket List Beasts.
I'm gonna check that group out.
Plural. Yes, ma'am. The leader is Sonjia, the lioness Mackie. That girl is off the chain. When I'm like, yeah, my stuff is real tame. But she's a freedom friend. That some, like I said, everybody can't stand too close to me. I can't stand too close to her. Some of that's just fire, pure fire. And I just, look from a distance on the stuff that I, from my lane, I'm just watching like, okay, cool. That's hot. She's a woman. She's like 6 feet tall, presence out of this world, but she does what she wants to do. You know, so I'm like, everybody got their levels. It's levels to this. It's levels. And, you know, I inspire and motivate people with living out of backpack. Trust me, women like her inspire and motivate me too. Because I'm like, yo, yeah, let me keep my eye on you. So as you go a little bit further, I can go a little bit further. And whoever's coming behind me, we can all go a little bit further. So.
Okay. I have to definitely check that out. That sounds quite interesting. I might be standing for my lane observing too.
Let me tell you. And there's another group called Wandering Moms as well. And these are all moms who travel the world with their children. Single moms who are just doing a damn thing. So I'm a connector, right? So this is what I do. Whatever it is you're looking to do, I guarantee you there's somebody who's already done it. So let's talk about it. Let's find it.
Let's make it happen.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Tell me a little bit about maybe a couple of fears that you had when you drew the line in the sand and you said, look, I'm moving forward. I'm going in this direction. This is what I want to do. What were some of the fears that you had to let go of to step into this power and live the life that you want to?
Well, I've always been afraid that I was going to die. And I remember when I finished my master's degree, I don't even know where this thought came from, but I always felt like I was going to die young and I wasn't going to have enough time. And so, you know, I think that was like the biggest thing. I finished my master's in 2010. In 2007, I was in a car accident where I was hit by 2 semi-trucks and totaled my car. I didn't have any injuries. I didn't sustain a single injury. But I think at that moment is when I realized you need to do what you've been called to do, period. Life is not, tomorrow's not promised. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Just keep moving. But you got stuff to do and you've got inspiration, motivation, encouragement to give. So the fear of dying. Before I went to Belize, I was afraid of going crazy. I had a mentor who had planted who's not an ex-mentor now, who had planted the seed that, I was going to lose my mind if I went to Belize. And, that I had signs and symbols of mental illness. Now, mind you, she's not, a mental health practitioner, but this is, kind of the seeds that she planted. So I was deathly afraid that, oh my God, I'm going to lose my mind. And it was in a Facebook group that somebody said, you will, and you will be okay.
Good.
You will lose it. And you will come back anew. You won't be that person anymore. You will absolutely lose it. And you're going to come back a brand new person. And I was like, okay, that sounds crazy as hell, but that make a little bit of sense.
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense, actually.
And then just so happened I ate this weed and lost my memory. Go figure. And when I came back, I remembered everything and why I'm here.
Wow.
So,
okay. So for you, hearing that, and having this mentor that said this, it obviously had an effect on you. What was it for you that made you decide to go to Belize anyway?
I had been hearing Belize since I was in massage school. I think that was the first time that I heard about it. There's a woman, I think she's from Illinois, who does Belizean Mayan abdominal massage. And she left Illinois to go to Belize and hooked up with a Mayan shaman. And the shaman wouldn't teach anybody else, but she followed him and basically just stalked him for, I don't know, some insane amount of time until he taught her everything he knew. And so she's the only person who understands how to do this Mayan abdominal massage that's for women and that help you to, help you, like all of this stuff with the internal organs. I don't have all the details, but that was the first time I'd ever heard about Belize. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going there. And so, it was maybe 2 or 3 years later that I actually went. Yeah, that was 2011. I wound up in Belize in 2013, 14. I don't know, somewhere in there. And so it kept coming up. I kept like these random things would happen. I met someone, I was going to Costa Rica, came back, told somebody about Costa Rica. He's like, oh, we've got people in Belize. Really? That's random. The next year when I had met this mentor, she was saying, oh, we're going to Belize. Really? That's random. Then when I get to Belize, I end up meeting the guy that first guy was talking about. Really? That's random. Random. Because random doesn't really exist when we're talking about all things working together, and the universe has, all of this is like the master plan, this, ultimate puppet master that's making sure that everything that happens is for our ultimate good. So I just kept hearing it.
Okay.
And there I was.
And you were literally told what was going to happen. You were going to go to Belize and lose your mind. And that was okay. And you'd come back a different person with answers.
Yeah. Well, I was still afraid, but it's like, feel the fear. I'm from the south side of Chicago, right? And we have this saying that you're not going to punk me, so it's really all about, so what that you're afraid? And, if you grew up in a household like mine, and I didn't grow up fighting, right? But a lot of people in my neighborhood did. And if you ran home crying, your mother, no, you go back out there and you fight. So that's the kind of environment that I come from. That fear is not reason enough to not move forward. And it's funny because I heard someone a few days ago say that the only way to get rid of fear is to do what you're afraid of. Mm-hmm. There's no other way. And that resonated so much in my spirit, because that's true. You're not going, and when I was in Belize, there was an elder who gave me a picture of a woman. She's naked. She has 2 swords and she's looking at a mountain full of monsters. And the elder says that the woman she's naked because she don't need nothing else. She got 2 swords because those swords represent courage and integrity. And the monsters, if you notice, as she's facing them, the ones in the front are dying. And that represents that once you face what you're afraid of, it disappears. But when you turn your back on those monsters is when they grow. Mm. So the fear doesn't go away. I expect to be afraid. As a matter of fact, I feel like if I'm not afraid, then I'm not on the right path. So it's like, oh, fear, thank you. Yes, good. Now I know I'm doing what I'm meant to do, what I'm supposed to do.
That's great. That's really great. And that the visual that you gave, or the card that he showed you, that's a great visual too.
Yeah, I wish I had it. She gave it to me and it's in color. She made a copy and I'm like, yeah, this needs to be everywhere. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah. That's a great visual. I'm actually going to remember that and take that with me.
Awesome.
And, fear is something that also a lot of we have, and the clients have, and it is, to feel it, to face it, and to just go through it. We are actually hardwired, flight or fright. We're hardwired with fear. Fear is a kind of like the basic survival mechanism. There's real fear, where, you have an animal or somebody's trying to kill you.
Right.
And that's how, our body kind of like just reacts to that to save ourselves. But the mind can take things that aren't that real, and make them feel that way and trigger off the same hormones and the same stress, whatever, in the body to make us feel like that. So it's understanding, and as human beings, we can actually decipher and say, okay, this is not something that's going to kill me.
Right.
This is just this thing. Maybe it's writing a book or speaking in front of people. So let's just kind of put it in perspective. Let's feel it. And let's just go through it anyway and get it done. Absolutely. And, 99% of the time, maybe 90% of the time you do it, you'll survive.
Yeah. And you realize it wasn't as bad as you thought.
Yeah.
But it takes those breathing techniques. Sometimes it takes someone outside of yourself reminding you, hey, you got this. When I had my speaking engagement, it was only 10 minutes, but I was like deathly afraid and I had no clue what the hell I was going to say. But those mentors that I reached out to them and they were like, yo, you got this. Just be you.
Yeah.
And even when I was there on the front row and there was a young lady next to me, she's like, let's do a breathing exercise. Sometimes you just got to breathe because when we are afraid, we stop breathing.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes it's really just taking a conscious and blowing it out.
Yeah. That's actually one of my big buzzwords in my life is breath. Always remember your breath. We're all one, mind body connection, and once you get a hold of your breath, everything else falls into place. It's pretty powerful.
Yes, it is. Breath is life.
It
literally
is. Yes, it is. It's energy, prana.
Yes, ma'am.
So I have a question here.
Okay.
How do you handle people who try to block you from personal growth?
Block me from personal growth. So I would need some more information, but just going off of what I can assume. So personal growth for me, I have, how do you say? When I was, in the church, I remember there being a sermon about you have to have a pit bull mentality about yourself when it comes to your vision and your dreams. And the analogy was when a pit bull has lockjaw, and so when a pit bull gets a hold of you, oh, it's not letting go, right? And so sometimes people who try to block us, we need to stop looking at them. We need to get such a pit bull hold on what it is that we're doing and where we're going and what we've been called to do that nothing else matters. There are going to be people, and sometimes we also have to acknowledge that sometimes people who we think are blocking us are really meant to make us get even stronger, a stronger will. So how do you deal with it? You hold on tighter, even tighter, to what it is that you know and what you've been called, what you know and what you think and what you feel you've been called to do in your life and with your life. And stop looking at them. Instead, look toward where you're going instead of all of these people on the side of you. That's what I would say about them.
Okay. So what message would you like to give to women out there about entrepreneurship and about personal development?
I think, let's see, that's a hefty message. Well, I think, the title of my talk, freedom, comes from entrepreneurship, in my opinion. This idea, whatever freedom it is that you are looking to achieve, you can achieve it through entrepreneurship. But even more than that, freedom requires friends, faith, and fear. All three of those. So I think that's what I would say.
Okay. So now, Natisha, what is your favorite app?
My favorite app right now, Facebook. Facebook wins everything. I freaking love Facebook. It's my favorite place on earth.
Okay. I'm a big Facebook person too. I'm a little moody with it, but I do enjoy Facebook.
Yes, Evernote is a close second because it houses all of my thoughts.
Okay. Okay. What is your favorite essential oil?
Patchouli.
Patchouli. Why patchouli?
It's spicy.
Okay.
It's calming. You can use it as a perfume. You can use it for its aromatherapy benefits. It kind of has that woodsy scent. It reminds me of me. It's kind of everything that I like, wrapped up in one fragrance.
What is your favorite type of massage?
Hot stone, hands down.
I haven't had one of those. I have to
You
try
have
one.
got to get one.
A certain someone who I'm sure will see the replay of this promised me one.
Uh-oh.
But
Pay up.
I haven't had it yet. So I'll be looking forward to that.
Okay.
Okay. What's your favorite flower?
Calla lily. No, sunflower. I love a sunflower because it's like big head. It's just turned toward the sun.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your favorite cheat meal?
I don't believe in cheat meals. I like food. And I feel like if you're going to eat, it needs to be good food, and don't feel guilty, because the guilt is what brings on the additional weight and what makes you eat more. So if you're going to eat good, high quality food. Fat is a good thing. So eat good fat. Eat butter, good butter. Don't eat fake anything. So
Okay.
cheat? I don't know.
Okay. Let's see. Your favorite book, or the book that has inspired you the most?
Celestine Prophecy. I read that. I was right before I went on my year-long journey. There was a woman I met while I was working on another book, writing a book. And she told me I needed to read it. And I'm like, lady, I'm reading 2 books. I'm writing a book. I can't read nothing. She's like, no, you need to read this. You need to read this. You need to read this. And when I read it, I was like, oh, this is why. So, yeah, it definitely prepared me for the journey. And, kind of what was to come, and even what's coming now, this higher consciousness, as we learn more, as we see more, as we do more, experience more, and, just experience more with one another. Celestine Prophecy is the bomb.
I started reading that book, oh my good Lord, eons ago, but I did not finish it.
Well, there's a movie on Amazon Prime.
No, I'd rather read the book. The movie doesn't capture everything. Never captures everything in the book. And it's not a lengthy read.
Mm-mm.
So
I told her if I could find it I told her the only reason I would read it, the only way I would read it is if I could find it online for free. And I did. And I couldn't put it down for like 2 days. So
he's got another one. I can't remember the name of the other one, but
there's
I have both of them.
He's actually got several books.
Okay. So that might just be a message for me to pick up.
Yes.
So it is a tradition here at Lifestyle by Design for the guest to give 3 action steps that people can implement into their lives right away to start living their dreams. What are your 3 action steps?
3 action steps to begin living your dreams. Number 1, write them down. Number 2, find a cheerleader, a freedom friend. They don't have to be right next to you. They don't have to even know you. Beyonce was one of my first ones. I don't know her. She don't even know I exist.
Okay.
But, yeah, find you a freedom friend, someone who inspires you. Number 3, take action. Write it down, find a friend, take action. Doesn't even matter how big the action is, just start moving in the direction. So that's what I would say.
And since you are an herbalist and you are also a holistic business coach and you are a massage therapist, a licensed massage therapist now.
Well, I'm certified.
Can you give us
I'm nationally certified.
Certified.
I passed the national exam.
Okay. Can you give us 3 tips on self-care, like what we can do, both men and women, to take care of our maybe body, mind, and spirit?
Breathe deep. Cut the dead weight. And do something you love.
So when you say cut the dead weight, What do you
Whatever
mean?
that means for you. If
Okay.
that's cousin JoJo who ain't doing nothing to help you push forward or achieve your goals, so be it. I think everybody knows who and what the dead weight is in their lives. If it's those old clothes that you haven't worn in 2 years and you're still holding on to, get rid of them. Whatever the dead weight is, whatever that's holding you down, whatever you feel you need, or uh, whatever you know is keeping you from moving forward, start unlacing those ties. It don't have to be a cutoff today, but start, unlacing people, having those conversations. Begin the cutting. Start sharpening your knife.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Mm.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Natisha, I really want to say thank you for spending your night here with us at Lifestyle by Design. I appreciate your time and your wisdom. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. I learned some very interesting things about you.
Yes, you did.
And I really value, what you do, and I honor you for not being afraid, for stepping up and stepping into the light and doing in your heart what you know you're meant to do. And that's empowering women, and not just women, but, your focus is mostly there. Anyone who crosses your path, I'm pretty sure. You are a star and you are living a lifestyle that you designed, and living your dreams. Thank you. I honor you for that.
Thank you. I feel like I should say namaste.
Oh,
The
namaste.
light in me sees the light in you. So,
Yes.
thank you.
Amen.
Ashe.
And that brings end to the show tonight. I want to thank everyone who logged on. And I want to thank those of you who are viewing it now. I hope you get tremendous value from this. And if you do, please leave a comment. Please share it with your friends. Share it with someone who you think needs to hear the wisdom in this journey, Natisha's journey. So leave a review, like it, share it, subscribe to my channels on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud. I am everywhere. So the experiences of everyone is yours, and it will be everywhere for you to hear when you need it. So thank you all. This is the video podcast series Lifestyle by Design. I'm your host, Margaret Wiltshire. You can find me at margaretwiltshire.com, and you can send me an email there, margaret@margaretwiltshire.com. See you soon, and remember to design a life that you love and live it. Have a great night.